What's up, everyone? It's Collectors Million here with Collectors Nation. Today, what I wanted to talk about was standards and why I think holding or creating standards for yourself and for your life is super important, and your business as well. See, because without standards, what are the boundaries that you set for the people around you, the people that you allow to have access to you, your time, your energy, and your mind? And if you don't hold yourself accountable to these standards, how can you hold other people accountable to these standards? So to me, standards pretty much are the building block of who you decide to be and where it is you are deciding to go. The good thing about setting standards is that they're not set in stone. Just because you feel a certain type of way at this moment with the information that you have present does not mean as you gain knowledge, as you gain experience, that you cannot come and reevaluate these standards. But I feel it's that something that we do as people is that we don't even set standards, and that's where it becomes a problem, because then at that point you're just accepting what comes, and that means something good may come or something bad may come, but you're accepting it for what it is because you did not take control. For me as a person, when I speak with confidence, when I speak to people confidently, that comes from my standards of me holding myself accountable and knowing my true value. Because as I set these standards, I again and again go back to them, and I hold them true. At the end of the day, you have to remember that we're all people. So no matter who you're talking to or what you're talking about, if it's true to you, and you hold it in your heart, that's something that you can hold as a part of your standard. Just because my standards are different than someone else doesn't mean that I don't associate with them, because at the end of the day, we're all different people from one another. So for those of you that don't know what I do manage a gym as my day job, but more importantly, something that I'm passionate about is my Pokemon card business. I do have a website where I'm selling collectibles and where I'm selling Japanese Pokemon cards more than English, just because at the moment where the market is, it's just a little bit easier to get. And I had the CEO come into my club today, and not that I don't look up to him because of his accomplishments and his accolades, but I do give him the truth, and I look at him as equal terms because we are both people. I don't look up to him with desire, hey, I want what you have, but I do look at him as, hey, I want to know what you know and how you got to where you got to. But I know I'm going on a little bit of a rant, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because he shook my hand, he had a conversation with me, and I feel like he gave me the respect that I deserved, because one of my standards is giving myself the respect that I deserve. No matter what position of authority, I don't look up to people. Like, I never feel that someone else is better than somebody else. Not better than me, not better than someone else, not more important than someone else, no matter what your status may be. And that's just one of my standards. And as you go setting your own standards, you begin to recognize and you begin to realize that certain characteristics of your personality come from your standards. See, because some of us already have standards, we just haven't come to terms with them. We haven't put them in writing. We haven't acknowledged them. And it doesn't matter whether you're in a position of authority or whether you're under, because if you're in a position of authority as a boss, as a manager, as a CEO, for you to be able to go and be friends with your employees or the people that you're working with and still be able to reprimand, hold accountable, these are certain standards that you have to set within the boundaries of your character and the relationship. See, different relationships characterize differently, but in the end of the day, the life that you live is based off of the standards that you uphold. The reason why people who make money, a lot of money, value their time a specific way is because that's a standard that they have set. And if you don't set those standards for yourself, no one else will respect your time the way that it deserves to be respected. Your energy will not be respected the way that it deserves to be respected. Your point of view and your mindset will not be respected the way that it deserves to be respected. At the end of the day, the tone and quality of your life are based off of the standards that you set. Something that helps me and that I use to help set my standards, I'm not just going to tell you why it's good or important to have standards, but something I use to set my own standards is I think about who I am and who is it that I want to be. Who do I want to tell the world that I am? If this comes from your heart, from true good intention, you can never go wrong. And when you learn to set these standards properly and from a place of true well intentions for yourself and for others, you increase not only the quality of life that you have, but the confidence, the self-love, the self-worth, the self-value. You start to move different and you start to operate different. What you feed your mind is a standard. The habits that you build are standards that you uphold to yourself and to your attention and to your brain. Standards are the bare minimum of what you're willing to accept, whether it comes from other people, whether it comes from yourself, whether it comes from the business that you do. If you take some time, give it some attention, I promise you can change things. Not that things are bad, but things can always be better. How do you know what standards you uphold if you don't self-reflect? If you don't ask yourself what it is you're doing or why you're doing it. Don't just take a mental note, write it down, and figure it out. One little change could be all the difference. Thank you for your time. Again, this is Collectors Million, here with Collectors Nation. Have a wonderful day.